And good morning. My name is Uttam Shah and I am the Vice President of Marketing at JK Technosoft, and I am your host for today's webinar on the Business Transformation Launchpad. This is our another webinar on the ongoing digital transformation and evaluation series. So today's webinar will be more focused towards Internet of Things, commonly called as IoT, the technical solutions around IoT, IoT middleware platforms, and implementation of an end-to-end IoT solution, followed by a demo of a smart supply chain solution. Combined with IoT, cloud and analytics, accessibility to customers are continuous, and we notice that users have few challenges while they continue to explore or experience this IoT journey. So we have a great panel today from JK Technosoft comprising of Mr. Ankur Gupta, he is the technical architect of digital competency, and Mr. Shankar Kamra, who is our technical lead, and both will share JKT experience in more detail so that we can get a good value of our time spent today. So we'll have approximately 20-25 minutes between the two speakers, followed by 10 minutes of question and answer. So please type in your questions using the Q&A window on the top right-hand side of your screen. So without much ado, let me hand it over to our first panelist, Ankur Gupta. Good morning.
Thank you, Sam. Good morning and good evening. This is Ankur Gupta. I'm leading digital team at JKT, having experience in digital transformation, AI, machine learning, mobile application development, and data analytics. Before joining JKT, I've been working with Infosys and working with customers like AT&T, Canon, IBM, etc., mostly looking after digital solutions. In JKT, till now, I've been working with customers to define their digital journey along with Shankar in various domains like manufacturing, finance, insurance, logistics, and supply chain management. Over to you, Shankar.
Thank you. Thank you, Ankur. Greetings, everyone. This is Shankar Kamra, working as a digital lead with JKT. As a part of digital team, I work with the businesses to implement technology solutions in areas like mobility, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, machine learning, and data analytics. I have experience in working with customers in various domains like retail, logistics, travel, and many more.
Yeah, thank you, Shankar. As we all know that enterprises are aggressively exploring avenues to implement IoT solutions to increase their efficiency and reduce costs. As per Gartner, by 2020 there will be nearly 20.8 billion devices on Internet of Things. IoT devices will be used in nearly every field because of network embedded devices with limited CPU, memory, and power resources. These IoT devices have sensors attached to them which generates large amount of data which later on consumed by platforms like Car, WSO2, IBM Watson, and so on. To analyze and predict and take relevant action, IoT is a major role player in various platforms such as a smart city, smart energy management, management system. And as looking at the Gartner's prediction, organization plan to fit IoT solution, but to do a proper IoT solution implementation, foolproof strategy is needed. And to start with, I would like to present some of the predictions by the Gartner. As you can see, industries like manufacturing, retail, logistics, supply chain, these are the major key players. So predictions for them is $3.9 trillion US, retail 1.6, logistics 1.3, supply chain management 2.5, and there are others as well like 2.3 trillion. So these are the predictions by Gartner that these verticals will be benefited with the help of IoT. And as mentioned earlier, by 2020 there will be 20.8 billion devices. So as you can see, there is a substantial growth of CAGR 32% from 2016 to 2020. So large amount of devices being used or placed in terms of connected devices. So you can see Internet of Devices way top. Then there are connected cars, wearables, connected or smart TVs, tablets, smartphones and other devices as well.
Rightly said, Ankur. So let's discuss some existing IoT solutions and their benefits in different industry verticals.
Yeah, thanks, Shankar. So there are there are multiple business vertical like manufacturing. Predictive analytics can be the best IoT solution for the manufacturing vertical, which enhance agility and flexibility and consumption about and put the carbon footprint. Same goes with supply chain management, which is where there is a real-time tracking, can be a good use case for IoT.
Yeah, Ankur, you're right. I would like to give you example of Amazon. As we all know, Amazon is the world leading brand in supply chain logistics, and they have implemented a smart warehouse IoT solution where the Wi-Fi connected robots are going to identify the products by reading their QR codes using a built-in camera. Previously, it was being done by the Amazon employees which roam to warehouse floors to scan the product information. So this is an example in the supply chain.
Yeah. You're rightly said, Shankar. So now they have replaced this manual activity with robots, Wi-Fi connected robots, right?
Yeah.
Now the third vertical would be insurance, where the latest trend comes into the picture, like where you say pay as you drive.
Yeah, rightly said, Ankur. That the term is the usage-based insurance. And how much you use, you are going to pay. So this solution works with the help of OBD2 telematics dongle. With the help of machine learning, the insurance company is able to judge how a driver is performing on each journey. And depending upon the usage, they are going to calculate the accurate premium on the individual customer, depending on how the customer is using the car on the particular journey. So there is a leading company in US which is named as Progressive. They've implemented this IoT solution in the insurance domain.
Yes, rightly said, Shankar. Yeah, apart from that, there are other verticals like retail, a smart retail chain, that can enhance the shopping experience of a buyer by predicting customers' data trends, the way they search for a product, the kind of their interest and all. So that can be one vertical. Along with that, automotive real-time fleet management, that's a very big pain. I've been talking to customers across the globe, and they have this query, right? They needed some kind of solution which can be a good fit for real-time fleet management tracking instead of the goods which is coming into the warehouse, going out from the warehouse. Nowadays very trend, the smart city, so smart meters, smart appliances, a smart home. All these are, I put them into other category because they have a huge market, but again, these solutions doesn't fit to a particular vertical, but they have, very broader landscape altogether. Apart from that, so the next thing that comes into mind once the the strategy or the use case is finalized, next thing which comes into the mind, the customers is how an IoT can be a good fit for their businesses. So I've been talking to so many customers across the globe, and I identified, people are keen to invest their time and some money, in the IoT, but at the same time, they are also not very sure how the new IoT technologies and the software and the application will be communicating to their existing proven system, because this is something the biggest area. I'll give you some details, but let's start with the first point: business process to be automated. So when it comes to IoT means we are talking about a process which is, we need to identify, the process which is partially or fully automated. So that's the one thing that requires, client SMEs to be involved in the initial phases. Second one, organization change management. This is again a very big concern because customers are using their existing systems, softwares in their in-house environment, and they are very, very much comfortable with that. So why they need, some sort of sensor-based solution which will benefit their, business requirement. So that's the organization change management. This is the second, obstacle. And the answer for that is involve key stakeholders to get their buy-in. That's very much important, and that should be done in the initial stages. Third thing is the integration with existing systems. I've been talking to the customers, and these customers are willing to go into the IoT. They are looking into doing the IoTization in their organization, but they are at the same time they want assurance from us whether the existing system will be able to talk to the IoT applications or not.
Yeah, rightly said, Ankur. Interoperability is must when we talk about an IoT solution, so that your solution can talk to your existing application or third-party APIs or the ERP systems.
Yes.
So it's very much needed.
Yeah. That's the reason why the point number 3, validate the POC and then define the IoT roadmap. That could be the solution for integration with IoT existing system. Last but not the least, low cost, because cost is a very major factor, in doing the IoTization of any solution.
Yes, Ankur. IoT middleware platform plays an important role while we are estimate the overall cost of an IoT solution. So we recommend that you should go for an open source platform first while you are in the initial phase of your development. So go for an open source IoT middleware platform.
Yeah, thanks, Shankar. So once this is a framework that we use before going for any IoTization in the organization. So business process, organization change management, integration, low cost solution, that equals to a working POC. So yes, this is very much important when it comes to the efficiency, improve productivity, cost saving, and improve asset utilization. Let us see, Shankar. Let us discuss. Once the POC is identified, once the use case is identified, next step is to identify the right tool set for a particular use case, right?
Right, Ankur. As we all know, the IoT tech stack is rapidly developing and maturing, and choosing a right tool set plays an important role while you are going to develop an IoT solution. So the IoT tech stack consists of 3 layers. The first is the sensor, second is the developer board or the hardware with network connectivity, and third is the IoT middleware platform. So let's start with the first layer, which is sensors. So there are thousands types of sensors available in the market, like GPS, temperature, humidity, airflow, speed, pressure, and the list goes on. So depending upon the business use case, you are going to choose a sensor. But even an individual sensor, suppose temperature sensor, we have hundreds of alternatives available in the market. So how we are going to choose a right sensor? So the right sensor, to choose a right sensor, we need to look for a certain parameters like accuracy, precision, resolution, and operating condition. The operating condition is like your sensor is going to withstand the hot and extreme hot and cold weather conditions, or your sensor can work underwater. So these are the things you need to consider while you are going to choose the right sensor.
Rightly said, Shankar. This is very very important point about the operating condition, where the sensor is going to be used and under which condition.
So the next layer is the developer boards with the network connectivity. So the developer boards depends upon the 3 factors, which is processing power, data storage, and the power management. So the processing power depends upon the RAM of the device, the clock speed, the number of cores of the processor available on the developer board. So let me give you an example. If your device is going to perform some edge analytics, it will require obviously more processing power than the devices who are going to perform some basic data processing. So in that case, developer boards require more RAM, more number of processors. The second thing which needs to be considered is the data storage. So for example, if your IoT solution is going to persist some data locally on the IoT device, then you are going to need some non-volatile memory available on the developer board. For example, if the network is not available, till time you need to persist data so that you can send it whenever the network is back, and you can send the data to your IoT middleware platform back.
Yeah, and that ensures the zero data loss, right?
Exactly, Ankur. So the next thing is the power management. power management is a particular concern when it comes to an IoT solution. As sensors, as we all know that sensors, actuators on the IoT devices mainly rely on the batteries, and they are deployed on the remote locations. So to extend the battery life, we need to put these IoT sensors and the IoT devices into sleep mode periodically. Let me give you an example of a Raspberry Pi. It generally requires 700 to 1000 milliamperes of current under a normal usage. But if you are going to transmit data constantly over the network to your middleware platform, then the usage will be at the higher end, say around 900 to 1000 amperes. So basically it's a trade-off between the power consumption and the processing power. If we are going to increase the processing power by increasing the RAM, the clock speed, and the number of modules, the number of connecting modules, if you are going to connect the modules like camera or the GPS module or the OBD2 dongle with your developer boards, then the power consumption will increase exponentially.
Yes, Shankar. And that is the key point, because if we add multiple modules to the IoT applications like GPS, camera, and various types of sensors, obviously they will be requiring power, and the source of power is limited to battery, right?
Yeah, you are right. So now the next thing is the network connectivity. So network connectivity acts as a medium to transmit data from sensor to hardware device and from hardware to IoT middleware platform. So we can use either wireless or the wired network technologies. Some of the wireless technologies available is the Bluetooth, low energy, Wi-Fi, GPRS. So when there is a cellular networks or Wi-Fi are available, then we can use these kind of technologies. But at the remote locations where cellular networks or the Wi-Fi or the Ethernet is not available, then there we use low-powered wide area networks like LoRa, Sigfox, and the Zigbee. And the last but the not least is the IoT middleware platform. So how we are going to choose the right middleware platform for our IoT solution. So it basically depends upon the following factors: the scalability, protocols, hybrid cloud, interoperability, and the security. So when it comes to an IoT solution or IoT middleware platform, scalability matters much, because if you are going to design a system for handling 100 devices, it's an altogether different game than designing a IoT platform to handle 1 million of devices. So as the number of connected devices grows, the complexity to handle them, or the IoT middleware platform, the complexity of IoT middleware platform will increase definitely. So the bottom line is, if you are going to choose a middleware platform, then make sure that it scale horizontally and it can scale on demand.
Yes, that's very much required, because whenever there's a need to have a scalable IoT solution, that requires a scalable platform as well, because a large amount of data will be traveling from various IoT devices to a single platform. That requires, the platform to be sufficiently robust, right?
Yeah, right, Ankur. The second point is the protocol. As we all know that IoT system is still evolving, and there are some new protocols in the market like AMQP, COAP, the Constrained Access Protocol. So while choosing an IoT platform, please make sure that your platform is capable enough that it can support the new IoT protocols. Because if your platform supports the new protocol, then you can accommodate more and more devices, and your IoT middleware platform will be future ready.
Rightly said, Shankar, because IoT platform is kind of rapidly and growing each day, right? And new protocols introduced every now and then. So a platform should be able to compatible with latest protocols. Also should be able to interact with various types of sensors and the data which is coming from IoT devices, right?
Yeah, and the next thing is the hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud approach is nothing but it's the combination of IoT platform hosted on premises as well as hosted on the cloud. So whenever there is a need to secure that you can't expose your data on the cloud, the secure data can be hosted on the on-premises, and the less secure data can be hosted on the on-cloud of your middleware platform.
Yeah, rightly said, because sometimes organization comes and say we do not want to expose our policies and private data or maybe business data to
due to data policies and due to the geolocation of the data centers, we need we need to use the hybrid approach, and you need to make sure that your IoT middleware platform supports the hybrid approach.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And the next point is the interoperability. So the data being produced by the IoT middleware platform need to be consumed by the multiple applications. So you need to make sure that your middleware platform supports the third-party APIs, your existing ERP system, your existing applications.
Yes.
So
yes.
this is a very important point.
Yes, yeah, and that's the main concern for the customers. They want IoT solution, but they want IoT solution who can talk to their existing system.
Exactly. And the last but the not least, the point which you need to consider while choosing a middleware platform is the security. Not all the major platforms provide all kind of security like authentication, access-based control. So at the bare minimum level, your IoT middleware platform provider should provide security, like at the network layer, it should provide the SSL and the DTLS encryption, and at the data transport layer, it should provide the encryptions like RSA or AES.
Correct. So that ensures the end-to-end data security as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So Shankar, let us see a small demo for the smart supply chain solution what we have built our product, and we deployed it to one of our US-based client, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's pretty much on the demo side. So the idea behind the application the solution was to support the perishable goods, traveling from one location to another location, which requires one certain range of temperatures, right? And the high level architecture of this whole application is to consists of two layers: IoT application, which is nothing but a combination of devices, developer board, then DST22 sensors, and the SDK provided by the middleware platform. We have identified and choose an open source platform for IoT application called Ka, which is now defined into detail. So the application that sends the data from the sensor will be sent to IoT platform over the internet, which has been now integrated with three different verticals. So first thing is database that supports Oracle NoSQL, Couchbase, MongoDB, Cassandra, which is like the amount of data being received over IoT platform simply can be stored in the databases. Later on, it can be consumed by analytics like Spark or R, and then later on used by the data visualization tool like Zeppelin. Second level of integration is the external system. So that's very much important. Interoperability, where external application can also talk to the system. So that's a RESTful services-based integration that is available. That can be helpful for predictive analytics. And the third integration is the messaging protocols integration using MQTT, which can be helpful for business process management system like Pega and all. So that also integrated with analytics integration, Spark and R, and later on can be consumed by the data visualization notebooks like Apache, Zeppelin.
Thank you, Ankur. So let's start the demo. This demo will cover the following things. We have used DHT22 sensor for temperature and humidity, and the GPS module for location tracking, and OBD2 dongle for telematics data, which is connected to our two of our boards. One is the Arduino board and other one is the Raspberry Pi. And the operating system we have used is the Android Things, which is being provided by Google for the IoT solutions. And we have developed an Android Things application and being deployed on the Raspberry Pi board. And it displays the temperature and humidity data along with the route information where the truck driver is going to deliver the shipment. It also provides the telematic data and that is being fed from car middleware platform to the third-party AI systems like Pega, which provides the predictions and the alert notification in case of any temperature threshold has been exceeded or not. When it comes to the middleware platform, we have used the car as a middleware platform with the integrations with the NoSQL databases like Cassandra and MongoDB. Also, we have used the MQTT for business process management, and so that we can track the real-time data and provide some data analytics for the real time. We have used Apache Zeppelin for data visualization and Things board to display some batch analytics and some real-time analytics. So let me show you the car middleware platform, the integrations with Cassandra, Mongo, and MQTT, and two types of dashboard, the data visualization that we have used in our supply chain solution. So I'm going to connect the Android Things application via Visor so that we can show you the UI.
So that's the application being used by the truck drivers, and this is the application will be installed, nearby the back mirror inside the truck, where the driver can, continuously monitor what is the humidity, temperature, and the level of humidity and the temperatures inside the container, in the backside, and then at the same time, shipment, number, location, speed, threshold, everything will be, can be monitored. And since we have already discussed about if temperature shoot up or it crosses a defined threshold, an alert notification can be sent from middleware to this device, just like we receive push notifications in a regular mobile applications. So remind you, this is not a mobile application, this is a custom IoT device which has a LED screen attached to it. And push notifications can be sent from middleware platform, which can be easily received, just like this temperature alert, please apply ice pack. So that's how a truck driver can be notified and seeing, okay, what is the current level of temperature and what action user needs to take. So that's how it works, right? Over to you, Shankar.
Thank you, Ankur. So as we have already told that we have used car as a middleware platform. So this is our application, and we have used certain kinds of schemas. The contract which defines what kind of data we are going to push from sensor to car middleware platform. So firstly, we have defined the schemas for what kind of data we are going to send. So this is the schema in which we send the sensor ID, model, temperature, and humidity and temperature. As you all can see, these are the field names. Also, we have done three integrations with Apache car middleware platform, which is with the Cassandra, MongoDB, and the MQTT. So data is being fed to all of three platforms simultaneously. When the data is being received to car middleware platform from an IoT application, then this data is being fed to three different sources. Two of them is the NoSQL databases and one is the MQTT. So let me show you the Cassandra as well as the Mongo as well as the MQTT. Let me connect to this server. So this is our Cassandra server. From car middleware platform, we send data to this server. So using CQLS shell, we are going to connect to the Cassandra database, and I'm going to switch the workspace, the key space of Cassandra, and show you the data being sent to Cassandra server.
Okay, so that's the real-time data received from sensor and from
this is the periodical data which being fed to the Cassandra DB from the car middleware platform. For real-time data, I'm going to show you the MQTT integration, for which we have used the Mosquito MQTT server.
Okay. Okay.
So this is the real-time data which is actually being sent right now from the DHT22 sensor to the Raspberry Pi board, and from which it travels to the middleware platform, and from the middleware platform we are sending this data to the Mosquito MQTT server. And from this server we have created two dashboards, which I am going to show you right now. We have used the Things board, another IoT middleware platform, to display the dashboards for real-time data.
That's wonderful, Shankar.
So this is the real-time data for which we have used Things board dashboard to display the real-time temperature data and the humidity data.
So that's the data visualization we were talking about, right?
Right. This is one of the real-time visualization, and for batch analytics we have used Apache Zeppelin, which I am going to show in a couple of seconds.
Okay. So that's how this is the power of the middleware, right?
Yeah.
So we can have a data which is coming from multiple devices, and at the same time data can be fed to multiple systems, and external system like Zeppelin or data visualization tool can get into that databases and generate some analytical dashboard. Right?
Even car gives you power to integrate with multiple third-party applications, because car by default doesn't provide the integration with the MQTT, for which we have write the plugin and deployed on the car server, so that we can fetch the data and transfer that data to the MQTT server.
That's wonderful, Shankar.
And we can also write our own plugin for the COAP, Constrained Access Protocol.
Okay. Okay. So this is the Things board, right? And this is
the Apache Zeppelin, for which we have integrated the batch analytics. We are fetching data from the Cassandra NoSQL database, and the sensors are being deployed into 3 zones: Zone 1, Zone 2, and Zone 3. And depending upon that, the temperature can be displayed. Even we can show the data for one zone or all 3 zones. And there are a couple of graphs available on the Apache Zeppelin which you can use, like pie charts and the line chart.
Okay, so the type.
Whenever I change this, the data will be changed over here, and you can link it to your third-party application as it is available on the iframe.
Okay. So this data can be consumed as an iframe inside any of the HTML application, right?
Right.
Oh, that's wonderful. So that's pretty much from the demo side. Uttam, over to you. Thank you.
Good. I think that was. Thank you, Shankar, and thank you, Ankur. I think that was really useful. Well, thank you, folks, for joining this webinar, and we will now open the floor for questions. So please use your window on the right hand side, top of your window, the Q&A box, and type in your questions. Okay. So we'll approximately take around a few questions, and whatever is remaining, then we will respond over the email. Okay. Thank you. So I've got one question which is, there are 2 questions in fact. So I'll read out the first one, and I think it's a more business question as to, so it says like, how should we secure investment done for, IoTizing external or existing applications with IoT solutions?
Yeah, Uttam, the answer is very much, very well explained during the demo and the presentation as well. that IoT applications are connected to a platform, and these platforms are interoperable. So based on the feature which is available, the applications or the middleware can talk to any of the existing system just by exposing RESTful APIs, which can be later on consumed by the other systems. Even also, if there is a need to send the data on a scheduler base, so scheduler can be scheduled, which can run on a particular date and time based on the configuration that we set, and the information which is stored in the middleware databases can be sent directly to the existing systems, which can consume this information and execute their business processes.
Good. I think there's another question. So I think it reads out, how do we ensure data security in any IoT application?
Okay,
I would like to take that.
Okay, I'll take that. Data security again to be done on two levels. First of all, application level security, which Shankar has explained very well. By applying some hashing or RSA algorithms, you can encrypt the data on the device side, even if there is no communication happening. Whatever data you have, that is totally secure, right?
Yeah, you can encrypt the data at the data layer.
Yes, yes.
The transport data layer. We can use AES, RSA, encryption, or whatsoever you like, or the platform supports that encryption.
Yes, yes. And once the data is encrypted, if we have the network layer which is also secure, HTTPS, that makes end-to-end data security, right?
Good. Thank you. I think there's one last question I would say. So, says how can we start our IoT journey?
Okay, I'll take that. To start the IoT journey, first thing is to identify the business processes in the organization which are partially or fully automated, and what is the actual requirement. Do they really need an IoT automation, or there is a need for IoTization? Because if you look at the IoT use cases, they are not full-fledged business solution, but yes, they can work with the existing solution to speed up, right? And help the business, growing in a much faster pace. So that's the one thing. Second one, again, get the buy-in from the key stake owners. Third one, identify the right tool set. And fourth one, platform. And then you go ahead. Everything is set for the POC.
Good. Are there any more questions? I think that's about it. Thank you folks for sparing your time today. If you still have any questions, please feel free to write us at the email ID given on your screen, marketing@jktech.com, and we'll get back to you. So have a great evening and a great afternoon. Thank you then.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.